of angels. It's Sunday night. The Sunday Evening Spectacular Easter edition is underway. Come in and give me a like for the graphics. Come on, roll in, baby. Thumbs up for the Easter Bunny MMT visual display tonight, live from LA. A little bit late tonight because I just got out of Super Mario Galaxy movie. I put it off, but I said, to be the true movie journalist of note in this entire space, I really need to see the film, right? So I did, and you're going to be surprised because I don't hate the film. I know. I was shocked myself. That's the beauty of being objective and not having an agenda when you walk into these things, because you surprise yourself often. You can't allow yourself to go where all the other critics are going, unless that's where the story is, unless that's where the evaluation falls. But tonight it's not. Listen, I don't love it, but I'll tell you what I do like about it in moments. Also tonight, a film I'm really high on. And it's one of the strangest valuations you're going to watch here on MMT, because I have issues with it, screenplay, but I love so many other elements of our Hero Balthazar. We'll discuss that on the way. In addition to Grace Randolph, has she lost her mind? I mean, is that kind of silly to even ask that question? We have a clip we'll watch, and you guys will decide, the viewers tonight. A bunch of stuff here on this Sunday night. Thanks for being here on this Easter. Hopefully you had a nice day and relaxed. I played some beach volleyball and played pretty well, damn. I was up on the wins versus losses. That's a good thing for me. And then I wrapped the day with Galaxy in its tight 90-minute runtime. Always a fan of that. Let's get my out-of-theater reaction. A few days late, but listen, I got it done. In life, can I just say this tonight as we welcome you in again here to the Sunday Evening Spectacular, that sometimes in life, you have to be in the right mindset. Right? You can't just force things if you're not really in the mood. And I talk about this very often, that you really need to be in the right headspace when you do anything. But I really think, to be fair to all of these films that I consume, I'm trying to be objective and in the right headspace to take these in. And then I know that when we deliver the MMTE, that it's going to be, I think, every time the fairest version of my criticism of said film, because I didn't watch 5 films in one day, or I had a brutal day and then I still went to the movies. There's just times you're like, I don't want to go, and I push this off, and it's better because I think I appreciated it more. Let's get to the snapshot, the selfie in the theater, which enrages film Twitter. There's nothing worse than Weber taking his selfies during the credits when the lights are on. This makes me very enraged. These people are not to be taken seriously. That's all of film Twitter. That's not a subset. That's the entirety of Island of Misfit Toys film Twitter, right? That's what we call them. That's what they are. They are the caboose with the square wheels. That is who they are as people. So what do you expect from them? All right, here it is. I am shockingly siding with the fans on the Super Mario Galaxy movie, which nails the kaleidoscopic splendor of the video games. But like the first film, the jokes are initial pass quality, first draft, okay? Little of the sharp wit. As you guys know, I love the animated works of Lord and Miller, Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs, Lego movies for starters, go to Mitchell's versus the Machines, but they just are quicker, smarter, wittier, all that stuff. That's not here. This is not an abomination, okay? We're going to drag some critics tonight because they don't know how to have fun. They don't know how to understand how this works for the majority of fans of this video game IP, okay? I do understand that. And I'm not here telling you that I loved every second of this 90-ish minute runtime. Thumbs up for that, thumbs up. But still, you have to get who the movie's for, and then does it deliver upon that? And I believe it does. Here comes the MMT live here from LA on this Sunday night. Thanks for being here.
Come on, Mario.
Very weird. Rated PG.
And there you are. I mean, look, you talk about a film that I think is actually better than the first. I think the first film drags. I think the jokes are equally as dead as the stuff here. But the difference that I like about this is it's very quick. It's very kaleidoscopic, energetic animation, which Illumination does like no other. I think they really have that dialed in here, especially the second time around. You've got so many of these characters from the video games plowing into this film that, frankly, I mean, listen, I only remember the first Nintendo entertainment system that I had, the very first iteration of it. I was one of the first people to have that with the Rob robot. Right? You'd see the screen, it would go grab the thing and then stick it on there and it would open up a gate. All that shit. Plus that duck hunt with the gun. I had that. So I don't know, like beyond that, I kind of outgrew it. I played Zelda. I completed Zelda, the gold cartridge, all that stuff. But, you know, when you talk about beyond that, like over the years, I did not keep up with Nintendo. So I don't know all this. But listen, the people who did were in my theater. And it was pretty damn packed for 5:45 on a Sunday. Fan service Nirvana. So many characters fly in here and the crowd's like, yeah, hey, it's Star Fox. I'm like, okay, whatever. But they liked it, okay? So I understand that. Like, I'm taking that in while I'm watching the film, and I'm saying, listen, it does have to work for me, but I think ultimately, remember what I talk about. I talk about, does the film deliver to its intended audience what it's intending to deliver? I think it's perfect. I really do. Right? And it is exactly what they want. Okay? So all of that is there for the fans of Mario and Nintendo overall. You got that tight runtime, like I've mentioned multiple times here. I mean, it's over before it begins. That's wonderful. Okay? Always going to be a thumbs up for me. And then you talk about what I mentioned off the top, the first draft jokes, right? The initial pass. They're just not fleshed out. There's deadness at the end of a scene when you should have a quick quip, something smart, something witty. It just dies on the vine. And I think that that has to be corrected by getting people in the room who are weirder. Not the Island of Misfit Toys film Twitter, but just people that are goofier and funnier, and then you get something that levels up, okay? But because we don't have that, I think that the film suffers because you just don't get those laughs that you do from a Lego movie, from a Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs, from Mitchell's Machines, right? You just are missing that because the talent level isn't there from a comedy perspective, okay? But overall, for what it is, what it's trying to do, 79% for me. For a Nintendo fan, they're going to go higher, okay? But that's a C+, B-. I mean, I can live with this. I'm not trashing it wholesale like the majority of critics who, let's face facts, we've talked about this how many times? The average film critic has nothing in common with you. Zero. They're not normal people, okay? We talk about film Twitter being the weird Island Misfit Toys. Critics are the chin-stroking knobs of the universe. So you get that crew that doesn't know how to have fun, okay? How many times have we talked about this? You walk into a critic screening, you look around and go, good Lord, man, this is the most uncool group of people that I could ever hope to encounter in the wild. I mean, dudes, you don't even know. Let me just tell you. The average film critic is as unhip as you can even picture in your head. It's not like, name one that's cool. There isn't. Oh, that's right. The gold standard. Beyond that, like, you can't. It's almost impossible. And that shines through with the reviews because these people are sticks in the mud. They are no fun, and they don't understand that certain things are not necessarily made for them. They're made for the crowd that wants to consume this McDonald's animation Nintendo shit. And I get it. Okay? So there we go. Again, proving to be the gold standard. You expect me to come on here and absolutely flame this film. And instead, I've said, listen, it accomplishes what it is. It's better than the first film. If anything, I'm going to take the critics to task for not dragging the first film more. There's nothing funny in that. Not the song, not anything. No, here's a great example of tonight. Here's how you punch it up, right? Remember the first song was Peaches, right? The first movie. You had that whole thing. So you get Bowser. And miniature Bowser's kind of funny, right? That's where the start of the laughs start to sort of show up. But then you get to a point where Bowser's about ready to go back into his number with Peaches. And this is like, okay, this is just me walking into the room right now, giving you a punch up right now. He starts, and then all of a sudden the guy's like, you know, whatever. It's a dead joke. You go like this. He starts to sing, and then one of the other little characters that are there, there's like a billion of them on the screen. One of them goes, listen, here's the deal. We want to hear the song, but the people at Universal said we need to make this 90 minutes, so you can't sing it. It's weird. It's strange, but it makes you go, what the fuck? That's weird, and I love it. None of that. Look, I'm punching up here on a Sunday night, walking out. If you put me in the writer's room, I would be punching up all this shit, right and left. Guys, it is going to be the bane of my existence for the remainder of time. I can help every single film out, either in the writer's room or in the end product. But no, Weber's too mean. And Film Twitter, of course, thinks they know everything. When the funniest thing, can I just, we're still continuing here with Galaxy, but I just want to just really drill down on this. The thing about Film Twitter that is so fucking insane is I've never met a group of people who is more clueless about what actually works, but yet so confident that they know. Have you ever in your life encountered an overall population of people who could not be more dead wrong, but yet are so certain they're correct? It is something else, okay? But let me remind you again, Film Twitter, because we're having fun on this Easter, is that you guys speak for no one, and frankly, again, you belong quarantined on the island of misfit toys because your taste aligns with no one. You're weirdos, and frankly, we need to bring back bullying. And I'll do that, and I continue to do that because you guys already had your say, and you ruined it with a film like The Bride. Once you recommend a film that is that horrendously unwatchable, awful, it's over. You're done. You're never coming back from that. Okay? So just say goodbye. We're done. We're done with the fucking freak shows. The Film Twitter freak show has closed on Broadway because they didn't sell any more tickets and they shut the fucking doors. It's over for you, Film Twitter. We're done. We are not dealing with your bullshit anymore where you know nothing but yet are confident that you know everything. Unbelievable to me. It really is. It is something else. Let's talk. you know, here's the thing. I'm excited. I came out of the movie. I'm like, and then I've got a rail Film Twitter. Anytime that I get a chance to level those fucking weirdos, I will do it every fucking time I get a chance. It's a lot of F-bombs for Easter. I apologize. Can I have a little love before we get into the score here and I rip on some critics? I want some credit right now for this background. I do this myself. I do not have an outside source. I am the one who creates the art, creates the show, creates everything that you see. I pick the songs. I do not have a producer tonight. I'm by myself. I have the kit. What more do you guys want? I mean, I'm dead serious. What more do you want out of a show? You can't ask for more. And yet, forget it. We're done. We're done with Film Twitter. Let's find out some critics who were totally wrong. And again, I don't say this is great, but if they say it's awful, look, 42% tomato meter, 89% popcorn meter. That's the audience. Good. The audience is definitely in the right here. No question. And I'm not just saying that because critics are fucking clueless. We know that, okay? We are saying that because They are. I mean, dude, like, okay, here, we got one. Corey Coleman, thumbs up for you, fresh. I mean, listen, if Rotten Tomatoes ever decided to let me back, which they won't, and that's fine, okay? I've already got reviews on there. They will never let me back because I savage critics, and that's fine. You know what? If they said, hey, you can come back, but you cannot attack critics all the time, I would go, hell no, I'm not taking that deal. I don't need your bullshit site. You think I need this? These people, this is the collection of misfit toys, right? We got Film Twitter misfit toys. We got critics misfit toys. It is one giant island with multiple islands within it. That is the film space, right? Alan French, 5 out of 10. Scott Mendelson, you're wrong, buddy. 5 out of 10. He's wrong so often. Joe Fryer, 3 out of 4. Good job, bud. Sean Means, the movie critic, coming in with 3 out of 4. Sarah Michelle Fetters, the movie freak. She found it deeply annoying. Oh, whatever. I mean, see, this is what I'm saying. These are the people. I'm not saying again, but look, Sarah, you guys, can we just, because I said I'd be mean tonight. Should I? No. I really want to. Oh, it's our good friend Christy Puchko, who used to work in Boston when I was there. Talk about an arrogant critic. You talk about an arrogant. Holy shit. This woman thinks she is God as a critic. And the funny thing is, she's right up there with people that miss like all the time. Christy Puchko could not miss more often. Her batting average is somewhere in the 100s. Okay. We're in the 900s, but Christy Puchko from Mashable is the worst thing ever. Oh my God. But yet I'm sure. Hold on. Do you guys want to guess? Do we think Christy Puchko gave a thumbs up to The Bride? Yes or no? This will be the determining factor about whether I walk back any of what I just said about Christy Puchko or I go double down on it. Okay, come in right now. Do we think she said The Bride was good or bad? As many comments you get, come in right now. Yes or no? Did she say yes to The Bride or no to The Bride? Right now, did Christy Puchko, this is why you watch, right? You're like, what is this? AI could never do what Weber's doing. I don't have to worry about being replaced by a robot because no one would pick Christy Puchko out and then all of a sudden say, did she like The Bride? That's so weird. You say no, she didn't like it. Oh, did you already cheat? Did you? Because that's the only reason you'd say that. All right, let's find out if Christy Puchko. God, if that was my picture, I'd be like, I need to get a new picture. She gave a negative to the drama. Already, that's a no. Super Mario, no. Ready or Not 2, definitely. That's a fresh for her. She's backwards. She's the backward critic. Never saw Forbidden Fruits. Hold on. Come on, man. Undertone, she did say it was bad. That's a thumbs up for Christy Puchko. Let's continue. She watches every movie, by the way. I'm not kidding you. She's seen every film. I've seen a lot. She gave a positive to Project Hail Mary. Ooh, that's a real determining factor. Oh, God. We are doubling down on Christy Puchko. Fresh for The Bride. So whoever said no, you led me down the wrong path. Oh, duh, of course she did. She looks like it. This is why I said what I said, Louise, because I could already tell you she thought it was good, right? It's got feminist themes that just ring true. Any woman who's ever... I'm sorry, I'm vomiting. That's my bad. Do we have a barf bag anywhere around here? Good fucking God. Let's read some of her let's read some of her critique. You guys ready? Those sputtering dialogue, propulsive and revulsive visuals, and even spirited dance numbers, The Bride comes together into a dark, campy, and romantic tapestry. Would she give it out of 10? Let's find out. It's a riot. Holy shit. If she thinks, oh my God, she thinks this is funny. Oh my God. Things are worse for Christy Puchko than we ever imagined. Did you guys see this film? Did you see The Bride? It's one of the biggest misfires in the history of Hollywood. It's an abomination. This film should never have been released. A riot? Oh my God. Let me guess. I bet you she also thought The Lighthouse was a riot. I tell you about that one time the critic I was sitting near, clueless critic, another one, and she was like, this is the funniest movie ever, the fart jokes. Well, I guess wow, your level is really base, okay? Let's find, I don't see an actual number on Christy Puchko, but it's fresh. It's definitely fresh. So, yeah, Sid, There's no debating The Bride. If you think The Bride is fresh, if you think it's a good film, if you thought it was a riot, it's done. Like you're done, Christy Puchko. You're done. You're done. Like with the second that was written, we were already done with you anyhow. I remember you from Boston days, right? Oh yeah, just fucking arrogant. The Boston critics across the board. When I was there, I've never met a group, and Ken will back me up on this. Ken, you probably still have to deal with these people. The most lofty ass chin stroking bitches I've ever come across in my life. I mean, you talk about unrelatable people. These people are the biggest collection of big ego, no talent people you've ever seen. I'm telling you, man, it's the entire space, but Boston was really profuse with those people. You know, and that's the thing is, what a surprise. Christy Puchko is our fraud of the week out of nowhere. Okay, by the way, that's way too many times saying Christy Puchko. I hope it gets clipped. Christy, you just fucked up so bad. The Bride. Oh my God, guys. Oh my God. Like there's no return. There's no return. There's no return. And the drama was negative? No, the drama's good. Drama's the craziest theatrical experience I've had so far in 2026. Another dude and I jumped on a woman for texting during the film, and the black woman next to me walked out at a reveal. Wow. Okay, well, that was something else. Listen, we're going to talk about that film. We're going to get into the spoiler because let me tell you something. That tonight, our film that I'm recommending, it's called Balthazar, right? Our Hero Balthazar. That film really plugs into the drama, okay? It plugs nicely into this film. I like it a lot. We'll talk about it in a minute. But that's enough. That's enough of the critics. I've had enough. That was wait. Let's watch some Grace Randolph because this is something. We talk about Grace Randolph losing her mind. Let's find out right now. Here's Grace Randolph and what she had to say during her Super Mario Galaxy review. Have a listen to this bullshit.
I continue to feel that Bowser and now Bowser Jr.
Okay, so stop. I'm sorry, you know, Weber is going to get in trouble for dragging, even though I would drag Christy Puchko if it was a man, so it doesn't matter, okay? That's not why Christy Puchko is getting dragged. By the way, the reason I'm not dragging Grace, well, actually, in this case, it's going to sound like I am. Grace, listen to me. I need you to hear me, okay? And look, I'm going to take off the glasses because it's a very serious moment. This is like the real world when they come down to the confessional. Grace, I need you to ease off of the eyeliner and the eyeshadow. You got to settle. It's too much, okay? I mean, a little bit of makeup here or there, I get it. As a woman, no problem. But at this point, this is too much, okay? This is panda eyes. I need you to just dial back the makeup to like a level. We talk about levels all the time. We're at like a 10, 10 and a half. I need you to bring it back to like an 8, 7.5 preferably, but I don't know if we're going to get there. That's just my first note for you, Grace, but let's continue.
Are a little bit too actually evil. Like, it goes beyond cartoon villainy. I think maybe because they kind of mimic, like, the toxic manosphere.
What the fuck is going on, guys? Why am I doing this? Okay, let's finish your thought, because apparently these guys are not, they're toxic manosphere turtles that are like Art the Clown and Terrifier, according to her.
That is, like, I don't know if it's becoming more and more popular, if it's maybe finally reached its breaking point, but... You know, I see a lot of similar talking points there. And the movie at first seemed like it was going to be a... I continue to feel
that... They clipped it. Do we have to go... No, I'm not watching more. There's Grace coming in with the turtles are too nasty. They're too violent. Bowser and his son are just... Listen, it's an animated film, but it's a cartoon, but this is too much. People, this is over the line. Again... I can see this turning into an Art the Clown situation in our next film. Can you imagine if I said that? Dudes, what? No wonder people are dragging her. By the way, I need to really be more like her and put 1,000 things on the left side of the screen so we can get through everything. I mean, listen, how many I just gave you, and I know I have. Who was it who commented on my out of theater reaction tonight that I don't do enough of synopsis? I don't do like a 10-minute synopsis versus like Film Threat. But I think I'm just wondering who would sit through all of these points. I had, 4 points? 5? Is that all? That's all you need. Why do I need 78 points with bookmarks and like little annotations? What is going on here? Well, this is too much. What is she doing? Someone stop Grace Randolph. Can you guys please? Someone. I can't do it. Yes, exactly, Sid. Bowser is the toxic manosphere. Okay, let's forget. We'll come back to her later. I got to keep going. This is a funny article that's true, right? This is from the Babylon Bee. Man gets excited about Mario movie after seeing critics hated it. Local man Bennett Stenson has become increasingly excited for the new Mario movie after hearing that film critics hated it. With several professional critics turning in abysmal reviews for the Super Mario Galaxy movie, Stenson's anticipation grew palpable. While this review calls the Mario movie soulless, banal drivel, it must be incredible, said Stenson. Oh, and check this out. The NPR reviewer said that everything in the theater, everyone fell asleep, and the movie made him want humanity to go extinct. This is funny because it's true. People do get excited when they find out critics hate it, right? I mean, wow. So there's that. But listen, again, I go back to the top of the show. I don't think this film is awful. I don't think that it is nearly as so Bowser isn't putting her off anymore with this talk. I don't know. Can we just let it go? Let's just forget it ever happened, okay? Because I want to talk about a movie that I like. We did enough. That is plenty enough of this bullshit. Get ready for our film that we're recommending. It's our highlight film tonight on this Sunday night. I've got 2 MMTEs. This is a film called Our Hero Balthazar. Get ready. I'm going to tell you why you should see this when it comes to your town. Here comes about 45 seconds of the film to give you a taste. Bang.
So when were you planning on doing it?
Doing what?
School shooting? I thought if you had a IRL friend, you wouldn't do it.
Think I'm some kind of maniac? I should fucking smoke you.
Smoke?
Dumbass.
With what? With a gun?
Yeah, what the fuck you think?
You like that shit, don't you?
This is what you wanted, right? Balthazar!
First of all, I love the mullet. Can I say when I was watching last night, Asa, is it Butterfield? Is the young actor who was like in everything a long time ago, and there he is with a mullet and the orange hair in this film. I like him a lot here, but I really like the hairstyle. You look at this film, and I think the trailer is not nearly as strong as the film. I do not like this trailer. This trailer needs to be recut because this feels so Safdie Brothers. And why? Because the director here, Oscar Boynton, he was the executive producer on Uncut Gems and a producer on Good Time. So you look at his involvement with the Safdies, of course he knows what that feels like and just the grit of it. And this film has that. I mean, you sort of see it in the trailer, but what you really don't see in this trailer that is the big difference maker here, and it really had me like, holy shit, when I was watching this, I'm like, this is what I love when I watch a movie. It's got an OPN knockoff score. In fact, I thought this was OPN. I thought this was another work like his in Good Time or Uncut Gems. You know, Marty Supreme, as you guys know, one of my favorite composers out there. But it's not. It's a dude who clearly is aping the shit out of him. I mean, the dude who composed this could just go by OPN too. That's how close it is. But that's what I like about it, is because it's so unique, even though it's very OPN-y. That stuff is so strange. It's not the typical choice. And this trailer has none of that. I wish it was recut. You know, listen, I'm going to go back in before the show's over and watch the first Good Time trailer. That's the trailer this film needs. And this is from a picture house, small production company. First thing I got to tell them is you got to recut the trailer. Do you see? Here's the deal, right? Again. How many fucking times do I have to have this discussion? That's a lot of fucks for Easter. Sorry about that. Here's the deal. How many times have I told you guys that if you bring me in, I can clean shit up? I'd make you a new trailer here. I would change this, write that, do this. I'm the fixer, okay? I'm the Michael Clayton of the film world, but the studios are too fucking ballless to bring me in. But I can tell you right now, nobody would be better than me, okay? Certainly not Grace Randolph and her panda eyes. No chance. Me. But it's never going to happen. But this is what I love about the film. The score is huge to this film. I also like the Social Network finish. When you see this film, without giving it away, if you do not see the parallels and pretty much the rip of Social Network, I really like it. I mean, that's cool. The ending really works. Now, here's the thing with the film. It has tonal issues. It's a comedy. You saw it. It's a comedy. It's a film about school shootings, about a kid in the other, right, the kid from New York who comes down to Texas to meet the guy who's going to do the school shooting. The film has a lot of stuff you'll be like, this doesn't, I don't believe it. But that's not the point. The point is that it talks a lot about how kids are so performative now, right? They get in front of their ring cams, like I am here, the ring light, and you do your crying, oh my God, we're just all just, that whole thing, and then able to turn it on and off, right? That performative bullshit that this whole generation is doing on the TikTok, on the Instagram, all that's here. And then you get, obviously, the school shooting stuff with more of a comedic edge, and I think that is where I wish the film were more straight drama. I think because it's very much of a comedy, I wish that it stripped out more of the comedy and brought in more of a straight drama vibe. I think the film's better, but because of everything else here, including the fact that you have the performances, both these dudes, the kid, I think, have I ever seen Jaden Martell before? He looks like one of, what's his name? You know, the kid from Home Alone. He looks like he's one of their members of the family. He looks exactly like one of them. But he's not. He's Jaden Martell. I don't know what else he's done. Hold on, let me pull him up here on IMDb so we can look at him. Here he is, okay? This is the kid. I feel like I've seen him in something. But he's the rich kid from New York who wants to be a hero for stopping the school shooting, and then everything goes from there. Again, you're going to roll your eyes at some of this. But, oh, he's in Knives Out. That's right. Knives Out and It. There we go. That's it. It took me. I didn't know this when I went into the movie last night. He was in It. 100%, right? He is that kid, and he's also in Knives Out. So you got both those. There you go. He's good. I like him. But he reminds me of one of the McCulkins. There it is. Thank you. So you look at Culkin. Right, McCulkins. But yes, so that's here. But here's the other thing I like about this film. Tight runtime. It's 93 minutes, which, by the way, guess what? Our friend Oscar learned from Good Time. 90 minutes. A shade under. I like this film 89%. Here's the deal, though. When it comes to seeing this film, you're going to have to wait. It's only New York and LA right now. In fact, here's how small this film is. The AMC 8 is where they play a lot of these smaller films. It's got 2 showtimes a day. Not even a full 4. It's 2. And it was sold out last night. Both shows. You're talking about 30, 40 seats. But still, you know, this is a film that I understand the buzz. You saw the critics take. I don't think it's quite as great as a lot of that says. Again, because of the tonal issues. But listen, I was very happy with my decision to see this film, and that has not happened a lot. Okay, we talked about how this year's up or down, mostly more positive than negative, but when you take a chance on some of these smaller films, I'm just let down because the trailer, frankly, didn't do much for me. But then once this film started, I go, ooh, I like this. In fact, I could see myself seeing this again this week because I'm afraid it'll be gone by Thursday. So I bet I go see this Tuesday or Wednesday night again up at the 8, kind of like I did Asphalt City. I mean, that film I like better because at least it knows what it is. It's a dark drama. I think this film, if it were a dark drama and stripped out the comedy, we got a great film. We really do. A really good film. I'll tell you what I did take away. The number one takeaway is obviously the performances, but that direction. I want to see what this dude does next because even if he's aping the Safdie brothers and stealing the OPN score, this is my kind of filmmaking. So yes, high on our Hero Balthazar. When it comes to you, check it out. Let's get some comments here. And you know what? This is perfect. This is actually going to dovetail wonderfully into the drama. Here's the deal. If you want to leave now, you can, but we need to talk about the drama because we just talked about school shootings, okay? If you haven't seen the drama, we got to go here because I know people have, and I know Luis, you can come in, anyone who's seen the film. Let's discuss this right now because I talked about this back on Thursday. So go see the film because we need to talk about the drama and that twist, that reveal, whatever it is you want to call it, okay? Some said, well, it's not a twist. Listen, here's the deal. In the trailers, there is no mention of what Zendaya's character had that was the secret from the past that Robert Pattinson finds out after a drunken night with friends, getting ready for their wedding, okay, when we find out that reveal, that twist, there it is, okay? It's obviously a big part of the film. It's time to talk about that because here's what I talked about back on Thursday. When we discussed that film, I said that I wish that choice was smaller, not as out there, as completely like just all enveloping of the film. Okay, you guys ready for the twist? I'm going to tell you, if you want to leave. Here's the deal. The drama. When we finally get to that night and everyone's drinking, and I don't even really love the scene where everyone's drinking because I don't even like the stories leading in. They're kind of too goofy. And then you get to her, and even the way she reveals it isn't dark enough. I think that's one of the problems with the film, right? Is that it's trying to tonally go back from this comedy to the drama. And again, remember we talked about tonal issues. Look, here it is tonight with our hero Balthazar. The tonal issues are going to get you in trouble unless it's perfectly written, and rarely it is. So you talk about the drama, and all of a sudden we find out Zendaya, your chance to leave, here it is that she was planning a school shooting, okay? So, like I said, our hero Balthazar, school shooting. So here we go. These films were perfect to see back to back. But here's the deal, right? So once we reveal that she was going to be the architect of a school shooting, including getting ready, having the guns, all that stuff, right? Okay. You talk about out there. You talk about throwing the film into a whole different manosphere. I had to reuse it. That's a callback for our good friend Grace. You are all of a sudden, right? Come on, guys. We can all agree. That is, if you did not know the twist, now you do. You're saying to yourself, what the fuck? And I get it. You should, because this is way out there. And here's the thing is that, again, I just wish the film, if you want to do that, I just don't think this is the right film for that. I think that when you talk about and you look at his other film, Dream Scenario, that film works better than this film. I like the drama because I don't think it's ever uninteresting, but it is kind of a mess, okay? And I would agree with this. Alana Haim's character is irritating, no question. I totally agree with that. When you watch this film, I think she was irritating in Licorice Pizza. Her problem is she's a young actress, right? She's just getting started. I think the default for any young actor is to kind of freeze up a little bit. I think she's playing the bitch. We need to let her loosen up. I need to give her a shot. Okay, I need to I'm not punching Alana Haim. I'm giving her a shot of Jack. I want her to loosen up, okay? And I know as a director, it's not easy to say, but I'm just telling you, man, I would be a great director too. I'd be the great assistant director. I would pull the actors aside and say, listen, Alana, you're awesome, man. I really like you. You have a really cool look. She does. She has an interesting look, right? She's not like traditionally pretty, but she's also cute. It's kind of this weird mix, right? Where you can understand how a guy would think she's cute, but she's not like drop dead gorgeous. So it's kind of like that gray area that kind of works, right? You need people like that. So I think she works. She just is so bitchy, heavy on the bitchy. So I want her to loosen up, and I would say, listen, you're doing a great job. I love everything you're doing, right? Positive. But I need you just to kind of play with it a little bit. Can you have a little more fun? Okay, have fun with this line. Do this. And listen, that's what I would do. But you go back to once we find out she's doing the school shootings, we have a whole nother movie, right? I mean, clearly, you guys understand that. This is now like insane. Now Robert Pattinson, the love of his life, he has to reconcile the fact that the woman he's going to marry was going to kill a bunch of classmates, okay? And then because that's so big and so jarring and just like, what the fuck? You now have the situation where the screenplay is going to get away from you because you're talking about this relationship. Now, I'm not saying one of them cheats. That's too obvious, right? That's too basic. I'm just saying, we need to rewrite this. If you want to make a movie about school shootings, different film, okay? Go back to Mass, right? That film was a dark drama, no fun to watch, but again, that's school shooting. You get back to tonight, our hero Balthazar, school shooting. Why are we doing so much comedy? I know, I get it. You're kind of making fun of the fact that kids have to endure this shit these days. But still, it's just, I'm not writing a comedy about any kind of school shooting. So I think that you need to give her something. We could game plan this. We could absolutely sit in here and just groupthink and come up with something better that's not cheating, that's not she slept with a woman, something that is like, what the fuck, I don't know what, because here's the thing, right? Cheating is so obvious. And then we have school shooting on the other end of the spectrum, right? I want to find something in the middle. We're like, what are we doing? Like, I don't want it so basic, but I also don't want, what are we planning a school shooting, right? This is too much. I want to split the difference. And I think that, you really have to strange darling outrage all over again. Film Twitter and liberals are praised. Our pistol woman is depicted in an antagonistic manner. Well, I don't listen to film Twitter for shit. I don't care. And who cares? I mean, they even have the line in there talking about how there aren't a lot of female school shooters, and she's like, well, there is one, right? Correct. It's been a few days. Listen, I move on to the next film pretty fast, but right, there's at least some addressing of that. But right, so once we get into that, it's become so much about flashbacks of her, getting ready for the shooting, and then she decides she's not going to, all this stuff, right? It's just too much. But you know what I love? Here's what I like about the drama, right? You talk about it now that you've seen it. If you haven't, I still recommend it, is that I like an ambition. I like ambitious films, and that film is that. Okay, it's not actively derailing the entire thing. I mean, I think it works better than One Battle After Another, because you talk about that film really tonal issues. This film has tonal issues because naturally it's going to. We're talking about a school shooting. Doesn't happen, but still that whole, listen, we start talking about school shootings, you're like, hold on, dudes, this isn't comedy. I mean, look, do you see comedians standing up on stage doing a school shooting thing? And that's the thing. So no, and I think that's where this film gets into big trouble. And again, I don't mind ambition. You just have to be able to pull it together. And it's so big. That reveal is so massive and so jarring and so all-encompassing to the film that it derails it. Not completely, but it definitely does not work the way it could have worked, because we kind of go all over the place. By the end, I like that finish, really a roller coaster of a film when we talk about how I was high, I'm low, all over the place on that, like a Barbie, back and forth, which one's it going to be? And I mean, listen, I'd rather watch that than something that's all awful. But I just wish, again, that gets to the tone, because when you're going back and forth with me wavering on whether I like it or not, it's because the tone is juggling. You're juggling the tones. It's almost always that way. Barbie, a little bit less so. I think Barbie was just a situation where it leans into stuff that it doesn't need to, and really just needs to like get more goofy and have more Ken kind of shit rather than all this feministic crap. Christy Puchko certainly like that, but the majority of people don't want to watch that. And if you want to make that Barbie, and that's okay. I didn't think it was awful. But if you want to make that Barbie, it needs to be an A24 film. It doesn't need to be a Warner Brothers Barbie movie. It just doesn't. I'm not saying you need to make it like, I'm a Barbie girl, Aqua, but you just need to make it more in that vibe. And I think Ken is, obviously, but there's still just too much. There's too much by Greta in that film. And, it's messaging at the end of the day. You talk about a Super Mario Galaxy, right? One of the reasons that film is good enough is that it knows what it is. Okay, Barbie doesn't really know what it is. It sort of does, sort of doesn't, right? I know Greta thinks she does. It just needs to know that it is a doll coming into the real world, and let's lose some of this feministic bullshit, and that goes same with same thing. It's not just about, women issues, men issues. It's about just imprinting so much messaging and virtue signaling and, making the hard left largely happy. Fuck the hard left. Fuck the hard right. I was listening to that Theo Von clip the other day. Who said that before Theo Von? I feel like Theo watches the show. Why wouldn't you? Because we're the number one show, period. Nobody streams better than Weber. He was talking about how fuck that whole, we're not going to war for Israel. We're not going to send your kids. It's exactly the whole rant I went into back on, what was that, last Sunday when I went off? I mean, this happens all the time. I'm not going to hold back. And I can tell you this, film Twitter, all you critics, if you think you cannot hang, like, it's not a joke. You can't even exist in my universe for 5 seconds. You can't. You're so woefully untalented to even consider the fact that you could even step into my sphere and contend with me at any level. And I mean any level. You can't. It's not even fun. It's the truth. It's the absolute God honest truth, and you guys know that. There's no one who would do this show the way I do. They couldn't even hope to. They could never do a show like this on their own for 43 minutes, still going strong with another 15 to go, and we're not even close to the finish line, because that's what we do. That's why they hate me more, because at the end of the day, they know they'll never have 1/10 of the talent that I bring to the table, not even 1/10. And that's why at the end of the day, they hate, because I dominate their bitch asses every fucking night I come on this stream. Every fucking time. It is not a contest. Do not think it is. You are delusional as fuck if you think it is. I can promise you that. I like that. That was good. Out of nowhere. I can always pull those out, right? You guys know that. I wonder what could have been a better secret. It's out of nowhere in left field, but I respect the bold approach. Sid, is exactly what I just said. 100%. Everything that you just iterated here is exactly it. And I agree with everything you just said there. Okay, let's continue because I got more stuff to talk about. Let's see what we got here. Do we want to do Brian Cox? Okay, this is great. This is a Matthew McConaughey thing. Just hold on for a second. Listen to this. I love this. It's a 3-minute clip, so I'm going to break it in here every once in a while. This is Matthew McConaughey talking. And here's what I like about McConaughey. He's authentic. I think he's definitely arrogant. So what? He's Matthew McConaughey. He's done a lot of shit. He comes off as very confident, and so do I. But listen to what he has to say here. I really like what Matthew McConaughey has to say about caring about whether people, like you. Fuck that. I don't give a shit. I never have. It's not going to get me anywhere.
A nice guy and a good man.
Yeah. Right about that in there, but a nice guy is about. A nice guy gets along. Yeah, do that. Yeah, I'll do that. They don't necessarily have discernment or judgment, not sure what they stand for or stand against. It's like, yes, sure. Yeah, hey. A good man has ideals that they stand for and they'll stand against. And when they're tested, a good man is not a nice guy.
I am not worried about whether or not anybody likes what I have to say. And that's exactly what he's talking about here. Let's continue.
That's in the chapter of manning up. I was that time when I was doing the rom-coms. That's all I could do. I was feeling like my work was just me as a nice guy. And in life, I was not just a nice guy. Like I said, Camilla's pregnant. I got a child coming. I was feral with masculinity. And
that's something else. I
was work, feral. Maybe I was feeling a bit neutered. And I was like, well, I'm a good guy and a good man in life, but I'm just a nice guy at work. Can I be a roles that can be a good man? And that was dramas. Because in dramas, you can stand for or stand against something. Your ceiling for pleasure and your basement for pain are up to you. How do you feel about it? And no direction can go, that's too much. Or that's not enough. Or you got too angry there. Oh, you meant that too much. That didn't come in a drama. Those come in a rom-com, right? Because the emotions and how you feel are compressed to be in a buoyant level, the threshold that's up, bouncing from cloud to cloud only. Dramas are as much pain, as much evil as you want to go, as deep, dark you want to go. Get there. Let's see how far you go. How high you want to fly. How close to that sun you get before you get burned. Go. Let's see how far you go. That's what you get in drama. Much more like real life. And so, good guys being a good man's a lot harder for good reason. Not going to be most popular. Not going to be always most affable. It also doesn't mean you got to be a dick or an asshole.
Which, okay, now listen, some of you are like, well, he's a dick. Okay, maybe sometimes. It is what it is. I mean, listen, I'm calling these people out. They're in the public sphere, just like I am. And people come after me all the time. When do they not? All the time. So I can do whatever I want. I can call whatever. They can say whatever they want. I'm a man. I can handle this shit. And if they can't handle it, they need to figure out how to handle it. It's not that big a deal. We're talking, okay? And if you don't like what I have to say, too bad. I don't give a shit, okay? Just go away. I'm never going to worry about capitulating to whatever you want me to say. Like, it's never going to happen. So is this even more aggressive than what he's saying? Yeah, I'd say so, but too bad. It's how I'm going to run my life. I don't need to be a nanny state and be told what I have to say and how I have to say it. Never going to happen, man.
This means sometimes you're going to go I believe in this is for me, this is for me, and that is not for me. And because that is not for me, if you do trespass into my space upon me and my family, I will do my best to cause consequences. And I'm going to let you know that. I hope that's apparent, because I'm not going to intrude on you. But if you trespass that, I mean, I'm going to stand up for it. And that we can talk our way out of that. Great. No, it doesn't always work that way. You know, a good man's not looking for trouble, you know. But if it comes, and if he or something he cares about unless we're susceptible to being trespassed on by trouble, a good man does what he can to stop that.
Exactly. Like I'm trying to stop film Twitter and the critics. But no, I just really like what he has to say about being a good man and you don't have to be liked, you know. And I say that all the time. I'm a good dude. I don't purposely I've never done something behind the scenes to fuck someone over. People do that all the time to me, all the time. They go, oh, Weber's this and that. People there was this one, remember that kid, what's his name? Oh God. He came out here. I'm going to tell you the story. It's the truth. He came out here to LA. His name was Zach at the time. And then he became a woman and it became Rose. Okay. Something Rose. Anyhow, that person, that's the preferred, was sending emails to the studios or whatever, yo, don't invite Weber or anything. That's what I'm talking about. What are we doing? Why? See, that's not a good person. I have never sent an email to a studio going, no, listen, I will say this. I did go after Gore because I told you guys he was saying Disney, Disney's the worst thing ever. And then Disney's inviting him to movies and I'm not going. And I don't say Disney. I say I'm fair. But it's why are you inviting a guy to go to your fucking movies that trashes your shit all the time and says you're awful, terrible, woke shit? It's excuse me. And all I say is that you guys fucked up, right? It's there's a big difference between those two things. But it's just weird to me how people, have I gone, I'll be full honest with you. Have I ever done anything terrible to Gore? Oh my God, I really tried to get him screwed over. No, it just hasn't happened because I don't care. I mean, listen, I said what I said I have to say about Chris Gore. I think he is someone who says what he needs to say to get the views he has. He does not fully believe in what he's saying. And I can tell you this, no one has ever, nor would they ever say that about me. Ever. It would never happen. So there you go. No, it's not Zach Pope. His name was, no, the kid, again, he came out here. Listen, I'm telling you, this is the truth. He came out here. His name was Zach. And then I didn't know what happened to him. Because he was Zach. And then someone was like, oh yeah, Zach's now Rose. This is the truth, guys. This is 100% what happened. And I go, what? I go, oh, okay, Zoe. I go, what? Oh, it's now Zoe. Okay, fine. If it wants to be Zoe and be called a woman, fine. It is what it is. But I'm just saying, imagine, here's the thing is, right? Are we going to pretend that you finding out someone you used to know as someone known as this is now something else? Imagine if all of a sudden, you knew Eric Weber all the time, then all of a sudden, hey, by the way, it's now Brenda something. You'd be like, what? Who? That's just a natural reaction. Don't tell me that's not natural. It's 100% natural. You're like, what? What happened? Okay, I get it. The times are different now. But I'm just saying, would you not? And I wouldn't be, do you think, what would I say? I'd be like, listen, I get it. I used to be Eric, now I'm Brenda. And you guys would be like, well, yeah, it's fucking weird. You'd think that, because that's the first thing I thought, because I'm old school. But I said, okay, times are different, we'll do it. Do you understand that? I don't think what I just said, I don't think anything of what I just said is not 100% authentic and true. Anybody would have that reaction. It's a normal reaction, especially for someone who's not this younger generation. I'm not saying I don't respect the fact that's what you want to do. Go for it. As long as you're not hurting anybody, I don't really have a problem. I really don't. It doesn't matter. But I'm just saying, you can't tell me if all of a sudden I go by Brenda, you're not all going to go, what? You're Eric or Erica, someone said in the comments, right? You 100%. But do you see what? Tell me I'm right. Come in. Let's just pause here for a second and just tell me I'm right about what I just said. Because people are going to say, now you're being hateful. No. That's a natural reaction. For me to all of a sudden find out someone I knew was this is now this, I'm like, what? What happened? Like, it's natural. Dude, if I did that, I would expect all of you to say, I would hope you'd appreciate it. You'd say, if that's what he wants to do, he does it. But I just also think you would also say, what? I mean, that's the thing. It's fair. What I'm saying is fair. It's a natural reaction. You can't force people to have a reaction that you want. You have to have the reaction that is natural, and then it is what it is. I mean, you're not trying to do these things. Elliot Page, Ellen Page. Go back to that. When you find out, you're like, what? I think that's obviously bigger because you clearly are aware of that. You hear about it so much. But if someone you knew all of a sudden like disappeared, and you're like, what happened to that person? You're like, oh, they're now this. I'm like, what? Oh, okay. I wasn't expecting that, but that's 100% the way it is. And anybody has a natural reaction. So there's nothing more to say about that. It's 100% true. But my point about that is that going behind and trying to like actively destroy someone, or like whatever, that's film Twitter. These people are really warped, man. And I'm not just talking about that example. There's so many of them. They're not really dealing with a full deck of cards. And that's the thing that's kind of a little bit like, wow, right? Here's the deal. I talk shit all the time. I have never actively gone behind the scenes and say, I'm going to really screw this person over. I can't even tell you honestly ever. Okay. Never. I mean that honestly. Go back and find it. Go back and find where over all my relationships in my life, which has been quite a few. Okay. Never once have I cheated. Never once, because I'm a good person. I'm a good guy. Okay. So there you go. I mean, that's just, listen, I would say if I did, I didn't, I don't, because I have respect for other people. I have respect for relationships. I have respect because that's a good person. Bad people do those things. Bad people. Good people don't do those things. So you can say whatever you want about Weber, this and that. At the end of the day, good fucking person. And that's the truth. And you guys know that. I think that otherwise you'd be like, this guy's a dick. He's nothing good about it. Nothing redeeming. No, I'm just super opinionated and super authentic and super fearless. And that really is unusual in this world. Very, very deeply unusual, especially in Hollywood. You're talking about a city that is full of people that are phony as hell, that'll say whatever they want to get the thing they want. And that is scary. I won't. It just won't happen. I have no interest in doing that. I don't play games. I say the truth. This is what it is. If it hurts someone's feeling, too bad. I go back to when I reviewed that film that I was too high on when I should have been lower on it, and I was too nice because the director watched. I don't want to do that anymore. It's never going to happen. Now, I'm not saying I didn't like it. I think I appreciated it. I think it's overall solid enough, but I didn't like it quite as much. I kind of amped it up. I'm not going to do that anymore. I have no interest in ever doing that again. So I'd rather not be involved. I mean, you look at, even I told you, Phil Lord's watched the stream many times. It's not once or twice. It's a lot. And I savaged that film, Project Hail Mary. I mean, brutalized in so many ways. Just the issues, the sophomoric, juvenile approach to much of that script, to the detriment of the overall film. And I talked about that over and over and over. And that is not going to happen with most people, because they're going to be like, well, he might be watching, they know who I am. I don't give a shit. Why do I care? I can't care. If I'm going to do an authentic, fearless evaluation of anything, I cannot worry about what someone else thinks about it. You can't, because then you're going to hold back, and I'm not going to pull punches, man. It's just not going to happen. It's never going to happen. Yeah, well, that's exactly, Mark. Like, back to the critic screenings, these people that go to these movies early. Oh, I get to see it on a Monday. I don't care. Listen, I got invited to the Faces of Death screening tomorrow. I have a feeling, by the way, tomorrow night is going to be Faces of Death, the early screening, the mystery movie / Screen Unseen. So I'm likely just going to stay here in Burbank, but they were kind enough to invite me to the premiere. It's down in Hollywood tomorrow. I could go. There's an after party, but I've told you guys before, I don't enjoy those anymore. I don't care about being around certainly a bunch of critics that I do not want to even be near, okay? For so many reasons. Because they're phony-ass bitches. I mean, I just explained how I operate. These are phony people that are always looking for the next, like, person to talk to. You know what I'm talking about? They're just fake. And not just that, but also, like, backstabbing losers. I don't have time for any of those people. Honestly, none. I'm the real fucking deal. And they know that. That's the other reason. You become a target when people realize that you are a threat because you are not going to be controlled by the bullshit that games that they play. And I'm not going to do it. So I'm just going to see it probably here in Burbank. If I go see it tomorrow, I might just skip till Thursday. I mean, I want to see it. I think Faces of Death looks cool. I mean, I love the idea of someone who's sitting around watching violent content to see if it's going to make it onto the social network, right? I feel like we've done that before in a film, but I feel like this, and then obviously she gets involved with somebody who, you know, the killer. It sounds interesting. You know, listen, I had a lot of hopes for Psycho Killer, though. Remember how that film went? One of the worst films of recent note. What an awful, awful movie. But you look at this film, Faces of Death. I'll probably see it tomorrow, more than likely because it's on Monday night. I'll probably just shoot the out of theater reaction on the steps at AMC and call it a night because it's just, you know, it gets late. I'm tired. Makes it easy. I can just talk about it on Thursday with the full evaluation. You know, listen, like I said, you know, I'm gonna tell you guys. I was talking to my mom this morning. Actually, this afternoon when I was going over to see Super Mario. I talked to her this morning too, but when I was talking to her, I said, you know what I've realized about doing the stream and doing all of this in general, like movies in general, is that I want to make it as simple as possible. Because if I make it more work than I really enjoy, guess what's going to happen? I'm going to stop. It's going to be over. But the fact I do this live, right? We're in an hour now. We're just about done. Because, I mean, listen, I get to an hour and I'm done. I don't care what else I had. I'll get to it another time. Here's the deal, is that if I get to the point where it's too much, right? As soon as the stream's over, I'm editing shit and all this. No. I want it to be over. And I'm moving on. Okay? I'm getting ready for bed. I'm not going to continue to labor over this. I think that's important because if you do too much and it becomes too much of a task and it becomes a labor and work and all of that stuff, you just stop. So I think it's best in life, and this goes for the gym, this goes for really anything, is if you have something that you enjoy doing, but you don't want to like have it take over your life. You got to learn how to really draw the line and to really be very dead serious about where you're committed and where you're not. And for this channel, I've been committed now for 4 years. I've done live streams for 4 years. I think we're up to almost 1,000 videos, but it's easy for me. I just shot, boom, for an hour. Okay. Not school shooting shot, but shot. Oh God, I'm not doing it. And said something sexual. I'm letting it go. We'll stop. We're almost done now. I'm getting tired. I'm going to say some weird shit. Here's what I'm going to tell you is that you have to know when to stop and just say, that's it. We're good. And I think that's why, like, look at Mario the other night. I had that planned on Wednesday, and I don't want to do it. I'm going to go for a bike ride. I'm going to chill. I'm not going to watch a movie tonight. That's important. I think so many people, like, slave away at something like this, and there's nothing wrong with that. But you got to remember, if that's coming at a cost, if it becomes something you start to disdain because of that work, then you need to pull back. You need to say no, because which is worse? Same with the gym. Is it worse for you to start hating going to the gym, or are you taking a night off? You see? It's the same concept. You got to know when you've reached your limit and say, forget it. And, you know, look, I've reached my limit. It's an hour. I'll watch a trailer coming up another night. I don't want to watch anymore. I'm tired. It's an hour. I honestly, tonight, I got out of the movie late. It's already 9:40, which is for me really late. I'll get to some comments right now. It's comment blast closeout. Let me find the song from tonight. By the way, tonight's song I really like. It's they have a bunch of good tracks this year. And this is a perfect song for right now. It's Easter. And this is called Feel the Light. Right? Because as you guys know, if you're religious, today is the day that Christ rose. So feel the light. It's perfect, right? Oh, look, Weber's being good again. The space has far too many film frauds. So many are in the Critics' Choice. Critics' Choice is profuse with absolute frauds. And also their fraudulent group. By the way, you wonder what I'm listening to at the... Have you seen that one meme where the kid goes like this? Right? I feel like I could do... Because the kid, he's like a young kid, and he's just like, oh my... But this is the music I listen to when I'm at the gym. I'm just like, let's go. Let's bang out 75 push-ups. Someone asked me quickly, well, I'm going to film it this summer, I promise. I made myself commit. You've got to shoot the workout. Tomorrow's my chest day, so I'll be doing, I'm not kidding you, this is not an exaggeration, 600 push-ups. 600. So you get the manly chest that I have. But no, seriously, it's what I do. I like it, and I give myself enough time off from that I'm happy to get the break. By the way, I'm going to pause, but just listen to this. I'm going to get to as many as possible. Yeah, the best me memory you've seen, right? Okay, check this out. Hold on. Wait till this breakdown comes. What I love about this track, wait till you hear the breakdown, is I listen to just listen to the melodic, like the bass almost here. Ready? Here comes the breakdown. Come on. You're going to hit it right here? Look at this right here. Listen to this. Ready? Here it is. That. I mean, it's repetitive, but it's got such a, just a real buoyant, right? Kaleidoscopic tonight. By the way, I want some love for the graphics. Right now, I want everybody to come in and say, look, he's got the Easter Bunny, he's wearing a pink kid, he looks like a peep. This is the best show that anyone has ever created in the history of streaming, not just film, but the history of film and streaming. All right, more comments and we're out of here on this Sunday night. I'll put the track in the Midnight Movie Talk video description on YouTube. If you've not subscribed yet, please do so right now. Thumbs up, yeah. And subscribe at Midnight Movie Talk on YouTube, and we'll be back on Thursday. Tomorrow night I'll have a live, well, not a live, but I'll post my quick little 1 minute reaction for Angel of Death, of Face of Death. We'll talk about that. More comments, and then we're out of here. If I didn't get to it, I'll get to some thank you, sir. I appreciate it. The bunny graphic. Thank you, Mark. I mean, again, I'm doing all this. You see, a lot of the channels, I know Gore outsources his graphics. I have better graphics than Gore. Do you know why? Because I create them. Everything that you see here emits from my creativity. From the stream to the graphics to everything that you see, that's the key. So, that's the thing. Tangerine Dream. Hey, dude, I watched Thief the other night for the first time. Tangerine Dream coming through. What's funny about Thief, I'll talk about maybe another night. Thief is a total rip of Thief. I always heard that they have parallels. Oh my God, he just took Thief and remixed it. That's all that is. The DJ, replacement DJ scene in the drama. Oh yeah, that kind of funny. But again, kind of weird, right? The whole thing's just, there's so many weird moments of comedy in that movie that just huh? I didn't mind it. It's kind of funny, but then I think the whole gunshot noise is too much, right, Mark? You saw it. Not thrilled. Oh, well, listen, I've heard the test screenings have gone really bad with that film. Chief. Why, Sid? Why did you do this to me? No, you did not just say that. Oh my God, I can't even. This is too much. We've gone too far when I get this comment from Sid. While you're sleeping, deep focus lens is working. She is, isn't she? She's sitting there with her book stack. Look at me. I'm so smart. Let's talk about film. If I look like deep focus lens, I'd have 1 million followers. As it is what it is. We have better graphics than deep focus lens. Listen, some would argue we're sexier than deep focus lens. That's up for you to decide. Thanks for being here live from the City of Angels. We'll see you back here Thursday night for sure. Peace out. Enjoy the rest of your Easter Sunday.